This episode is sponsored by Geek Squad's Idea Festival. Geek Squad needs your help to fix the planet. Head on over to ideafest.geeksquad.com to submit your idea on how we can use technology to protect our planet. Our idea? Go in and tweak the power settings on your computer so that instead of displaying a screensaver, it just turns your screen off. If everyone did that, it would save an ungodly amount of megawatt usage. That's our idea. What's yours? Let your voice be heard at ideafest.geeksquad.com. Hey guys, Andrew Edwards here from Gear Live, and we're here with Stacy Wolff, the Director of Notebook Product Design from Hewlett-Packard.
That's correct.
And so, Director of Notebook Product Design, what exactly does that entail?
Well, I'm responsible for all notebook design worldwide for HP. So whether it be the commercial notebooks or the consumer notebooks, it's my team that's doing the design work.
Okay, so when you say design, you're actually talking about the aesthetics of the computer, the design that like is on the casing and that kind of stuff?
It's kind of all levels. My group is made up of industrial designers, user interface designers, packaging designers, and also graphic artists. So it really is all the touch points that the consumer comes in contact with when they look at our computers.
Okay, and so as far as testing goes, before something goes to market, I'm assuming you guys, you blueprint everything out.
Yeah.
Do you actually have user groups that come in to actually tell you what they think, or do you guys finish it all off yourselves?
Oh, no. In fact, I skipped over. I have human factors as well as part of my group. And so we do a lot of contextual studies as well as just kind of forums, right, where you bring people in and we bring the product out and we kind of hear what they have to say about the product. We've been doing, I think, almost a little reconnaissance in a way, where we've been getting out to different regions. We were talking before, I've been on the road for about 5 weeks. Right. So I was actually in Singapore last week meeting with the country managers who sell our products, who are basically on the street, and hearing firsthand of what they like in the product, what they don't like in the product, and what do we need to do to make our product better. So we're very, very focused on meeting with the customer face to face.
Okay, and we have some computers here we're going to take a look at in a second, but I just want to ask you, what have you been finding people saying are their favorite features, or what do people want right now in this day and age from a laptop design?
Well, I think there's a couple pieces, and there's a baseline, right? I think everybody wants a dependable PC, right? That doesn't break down, doesn't cause them fits and stuff. And HP's invested quite a bit, especially in the notebook arena, to make sure that we're not having failures out there. So we have a team just dedicated to total customer experience, and these folks are basically looking at making that product as the best it can be.
Okay. But people also want cool computers, right?
People want cool computers. So what you're seeing is a huge investment that HP's made over the last couple of years, and you see it with some of the products that we're going to go through here. But just in our baseline, the DV2000 that we launched in 06, that was the first time we used what was called HP Imprint Technology. This is basically where you kind of decorate the outside of that product with a pattern, a color. It's taking that product to almost a fashion sense. So again, when we talk about the PC, it's really consumer electronics in general. People want to connect with it, right. And so what we're doing is we're putting designs out there, and it's not just a spectrum of colors. It's designs that resonate with people. It's a mature, sophisticated color scheme and pattern that we're putting out there. And obviously there's a variety, and you're going to see that here.
Okay. Well, let's take a look. What do you want to start with first? What do we have here?
I think the best way to start is go big, and then we'll go small.
Okay. Let's do that.
And so what I have here is the what's called Dragon, and this is really kind of a first for a notebook arena, right? Where we've basically said, all the rules of.
So and this is definitely large.
It's definitely large. So it's a 20-inch screen. Okay, it's a 1080p. So it's basically for high definition. It has HD DVD built in, right? So if you want your high definition movie, that experience, this is the product for you, right? The key thing about it from a design perspective is that there's a lot of 20-inch notebooks out there. When we started doing the design effort on this, it was one of those things that we were looking at. It's like something's wrong. You just don't make a bigger notebook. It has to be something more. And if you look at this product, if I just kind of twist it to the side, you can kind of see that it actually has a hinge that is a dual hinge, okay? And the dual hinge gives you the flexibility of bringing the display forward. So what's key about this, and what we found in our testings, is that the display from this to your user has the same distance that a 14-inch notebook does. Okay, this is pretty keen, right?
Okay.
Because whether you be gaming or whether you're just into kind of a media setting, you don't want the screen to be across the room, right? You want it to be closer to you. And so by doing this kind of cantilever, we've done that. The other part is, as you start to deal with different heights of people and stuff, by having this on this hinge, now you can also adjust it from a height standpoint as well.
Okay.
Right? Now, the thing is, let me open it for you guys so you can kind of see it. It's pretty cool as far as the mechanism, right? There's no latches, so I can close it up. I just shut it down. It has almost a cam over, so it closes itself, okay? And then when I lift it, you're going to watch it, and it's going to kick out, right? And what it does is it actually has an internal locking mechanism that allows the user to not even think about it. They open and close it just like they would kind of a car hood, right? Okay. And so it's very, very simple. You'll notice on the back on this guy, and again, the back looks just as good as the front on this. We have a lighted logo. This is the first time we've really kind of started to say, we want to broadcast. HP's got some cool product out there, right? So that's backlit. You see the hinge, the arm in the back, that's all magnesium. So we're talking about, it's not just pretty aesthetics, right? We're talking about some really nice construction material. And then when we get to the front, it is kind of a plethora of buttons on there, right? It's kind of, for the technophile, you got everything on here. Across the front, you have your quick play, which is something that we've kind of developed and really brought forth, and we're still continuing to perfect that. What you notice here is it's got a little TV icon because it's got integrated TV tuning, okay? So now you're cooking with this box. Not only are you just playing your DVDs, you're also watching TV. I want to point you out here. This is something that we discovered, is that when we were talking with users, it's like, can you do something about all the LEDs? I want to watch the movie, but I don't want to have all the LEDs on. And so what we actually have is a movie setting. So you press that little button and all the LEDs go off. So my focus is on the screen. Right. Again, this is, talking to the actual people that are using it. Obviously it's wireless. That's kind of a no-brainer. But you notice it also has bass and treble, right? So you're dealing with a subwoofer that's in the bass. Remember, it's 4 speakers up front and a subwoofer in the bass. So whether you're gaming or entertainment, you're definitely getting a full surround sound package with this.
Now, is this touch sensitive, or are these actual?
It's all touch sensitive. So one of the things about touch sensitivity is that it's it won't break, right? You don't have buttons, you don't have crevices, you don't have debris that's going to fall in. You basically have one clean surface. The nice thing too is that if you want to make it, want to clean it off, you just take a rag and wipe it clean, right? A couple things about this box is it uses a full-size keyboard. So basically it's a desktop keyboard. Okay. We've put a coating on here, so this is actually a durable coating that's on top of the keys. The other thing is that it looks like a remote. It is a remote, right? So let me kind of pop that out.
So it just stores right in there.
It just stores right on board. And the key thing is that you want to have a home for the remote, otherwise you're looking around your house for the remote, right? Now this is a very, very thin remote. It gives you full control. A couple things about this remote is it has what was called Hpq Control. And it kind of looks like a backwards Q. And what we found in our research is that when you're dealing with kind of navigation, up, down, select, or whatever it might be, people want the back button, right? How do I get out of this, right? And so what we've incorporated is tying those elements together. So whether you see it on a printer or on this product, it's kind of just a common interface that HP's been kind of putting out there on its products. A couple things about the actual touchpad on this, which is quite nice, is it's actually all built into the plastic. Okay, so typically where you see a touchpad, you see kind of a hole. Right. We actually have, it's one continuous piece of plastic, but you notice almost like the old air hockey table, right? You got these little dimples on the table, right? And what you have is almost a tactile feel. So if it's low light and I'm navigating on the screen, this is something that, when we're doing the user testing, we had a bunch of different kind of concepts, and having the dimples, people go, hey, that's kind of neat. And it was almost like a little bit of interaction gravity where people kind of came up to it and goes, that's cool.
So there's a reason for that. It's not just for design.
It's not just for design. It was one of those things that we wanted to make sure that you didn't kind of impede that whole surface with a big hole in that on that keyboard deck, but at the same time we wanted that feedback so you knew where you were, as far as running your finger on it. I'm going to kind of move along here and show you a couple. These I'm going to talk about in pairs here. Okay. And so one of the things that HP's been doing is, instead of, like I said earlier, instead of doing 8 different or 9 different colors, what we've been doing is kind of targeting different customer segments, right? And so I have what